Greetings, sending you all some warm, positive vibrations. This is Body-Culinary. Welcome to another fresh new day. And today I wanted to come on and connect and share with you that we're going to be getting into some stuff this new season. There is a lot that is on the menu. And what we're going to be touching on today is whether or not it's possible to achieve clear skin without using products. And I'm saying this as someone that's had a lot of acne, like crazy looking acne. If you scroll down in the community section, you scroll, you'll see a picture of what, a taste of what my skin was looking like. So lots of whiteheads and all that white stuff filled inside the acne, and sometimes the cystic acne that was extremely uncomfortable. It made me extremely self-conscious. I feel very fortunate now to be able to move around without having to wear makeup. That being said, I can appreciate a fresh face of makeup. However, I prefer, I like the feeling of my skin breathing. I like to play. I like to roll on my yoga mat. I like to be in the garden. So being very active, your skin can attract a lot of dust. Sweat can be rolling down in your face. So I just find it's more convenient. And I just really like enjoying my skin. Actually, today I was just looking at my toenails. I'm enjoying my toenails. So I am one for writing my own narrative. And I'm very observant of my self-talk, like the inner dialogue that's always going on. And so I do like nail polish. I actually have some really nice vegan nail polish. But then sometimes I just watch myself. I'm like, you know what? I actually like my toes. I don't feel like putting polish on. I know it can look very fancy when you're going out with shoes and stuff. And I was like, I'm catching myself in my thoughts. And this was the same thing with my skin. I was like, I like my toes. I'm really liking my toes. So I think it's wonderful when you can tap in and you can listen, whether it's criticism, hypercritical feedback, or a feeded loop or repeating loop going on in your mind, or without making yourself bad or wrong. If you're noticing, you can smile when you pass the mirror or when you're having your own internal communications with yourself, because amazingly, as much as we talk about other people, we'd probably be amazed that we can be extremely, our language can be very cruel and harsh just to our own selves, and extremely judgmental when we ask other people not to judge us. So today we're going to be touching in on, can we clear up the skin without a whole bunch of products? And I can tell you, yes, because I bought everything inside of the health food store, everything over the counter, Proactive, what was it, Clearasil, Neutrogena, all of Olay. That was a lot of money. It was just a lot of chemicals. I had every supplement you can think of, and I used none of that. So if you're interested in this communication, stay tuned. And we're also going to be doing a workshop talking about a challenge that's going to be coming, that's going to be going on actually on Facebook. And I'm not a big user of Facebook, but I'm looking for different strategic ways to use the internet. So at 11:30 today, that's going to be free. We're going to be talking about a challenge that's going to become more so than a challenge, a reset. For those folks that are interested, if you're contending with acne, you might be one of those people that have acne, maybe some unhealthful adipose tissue or waste that you want to assist your body in releasing, and just trying to contend with what to do with all this very fine, delicate, kinky hair. All these things that may seem like, oh, that's vanity. There's nothing wrong with a healthy sense of vanity and wanting to feel good about yourself, especially in the skin that you were divinely assigned at birth. So I'm Body-Culinary, professional chef, personal trainer, natural born woman, mother, love of a natural style, a lifestyle, or as close as I can get to it in these times that we're living in on this channel. I love to share encouragement to start or reactivate a personal movement practice. I love to encourage peaceful consumption. What that looks like for me is a consumption pattern focused on whole, fresh, living, unprocessed foods. If there's going to be any processing, I would do it myself. First of all, with my teeth and with a knife. But there are all different kinds of creative ways you can prepare your food. And I also love to encourage you to start a garden, whatever kind of space you're in, big or small. Everybody, and I do mean everybody, can grow something. These are what I like to consider lifestyle practices. And it's what we have access to. You have access to growing something. At some point, you're going to buy a fruit and vegetable, hopefully, and it will have some seeds in it. Greetings. Taking a break from work. I review your videos often. Stephanie, hey, Stephanie. Greetings, Jewel. Greetings, Michael Nicole. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the warm, positive vibrations. So, yeah, that's what I love to share on this channel. In addition to some of my journey of radical self-acceptance, and that has been I'm not exaggerating. I'm the person I put food on my face. Especially now more than ever, but I could give 2 peach pits if you laugh at me. This has been happening for decades. So whatever, I don't take the advice of, people that don't have the results that I'm desiring. And that also comes with quiet and really being comfortable in your own skin. I put food on my face. If I can't eat it, I don't put it on my skin. Literally. And it was one of my mentors that told me that over 3 decades ago. So I'm putting food on my face, the food, all that expensive, fresh produce that I'm paying all that money for, it goes primarily inside to nourish me from the inside. And that's what goes on my face, my hair, and skin. It's not just for vanity. It's also, I find it a great stress reliever because I've taken a whole lot off of the table. I'm not interested in being preoccupied with my hair. Enough years are spent chasing tail, chasing products, chasing look, chasing all the stuff that went inside the garbage. And I prioritize an exhale, relaxation, because there's already so much stuff, triggeration. I call it triggeration, constantly coming at us through these screens that has us on, constant knee-jerk reactions and driving a lot of mindless eating and a lot of mindless behaviors that become ingrained and wired into our consciousness and wired into our brain computer and wired into our body. And then we're busy beating up on ourselves. So I've decided to take a lot off of the table. So a bunch of folks sitting around in the boardroom deciding what's going to be fashionable this year, what am I going to buy for my skin? I've swiped it all off the table. I find it actually helps me relax a lot more. I'm not interested. I can curl my hair. If I wanted to put makeup on, I can. However, I prioritize being able to breathe and being comfortable in my own skin. I'm giving the validation to me, and I can recommend it to any of my flowers out there that might be just a little bit, maybe just coming along, just a few years maybe behind me. Give yourself, and a lot of this stuff sounds very easy. I was talking with one of my flowers the other day, and it's like some of it is very, very challenging. I might even say hard. I like to admit that things are hard, but to literally, these are computers, but very highly programmable. A lot of the stuff that we wax poetic and we say so intellectually, it's not easy. Just because you say something, that don't mean you got it. Because you can parrot it off, because this is the information age. Because you can parrot, because you've read the book, because you've watched YouTube videos, that doesn't mean that that's your consistent experience. That doesn't mean that's something that you're grounded in. Because I'm vegetarian or even because I'm vegan, that doesn't mean that I'm still not dealing with stress. That doesn't mean that I'm not necessarily that I'm overeating. That doesn't necessarily mean that I exercise. That doesn't mean necessarily that I'm sleeping. So food is huge in your toolbox. So I've taken that all off the table. At this point, I can say there's nothing more healthier for me to eat. I'm eating whole, fresh, living, unprocessed foods. I make sure I get enough protein. I'm conscious of my B vitamins, all the different micro and macro nutrients. I have a movement practice. So I don't have to worry about that anymore. And it can be very debilitating to keep having to come again year after year after year to make the decision to start over again. Now, I invite you not to make yourself bad, not to make yourself wrong, simply because it's ineffective. I invite you to exercise a healthy sense of curiosity about why is it so challenging? Why can't I break this habit? Why am I so fixated? Just observe yourself. Like if you hired yourself as a consultant, just to come and peek in and to see why you have the results that you have, right? The consultant is not going to make you a bad person. You have this result because of this. You're just going to observe objectively without being so emotionally vested. So our skin, I can intellectualize it. I've been ripped full of muscle doing fitness competitions, and I would have traded it all in just to have all of that hyperpigmentation and acne scars and those big cystic marks, to have them off of my face. I'll be honest with you. It was very uncomfortable. I think I'm relatively positive, but I felt embarrassed if I listened to the dialogue that was going on in my head, and sometimes wanted to put makeup on. Not because I wanted to, because I felt like it was embarrassing and people question, you're eating healthy. Why does your skin look like that? So there's such a roller coaster of stress just in that one area of our appearance. And I invite you to intend for yourself relaxation. Relaxation. I know what many people want to skip on over to the recipes and just give me the workout. And it's quite often, I can tell you, like in 3 decades, most people that do fasts and programs and fitness, most do not maintain and sustain. So this has always sparked my curiosity. One, what motivates us to get into action around what we say we value? Number 2, I'm very curious about the people that get results. Number 3, those people that are excited and having a great time. And then also, in contrast, folks, I call it stinking thinking. Folks that feel so dejected, so unenergized, who can't seem to get out of loop thoughts. I am not immune to this. I've just figured out certain patterns. I'm very, very aware of patterns. Do I notice my habits are emotionally related? I eat junk when a big change happens too quickly and it overwhelms me. Well, welcome to being human. And we can make light, not to be dismissive of the seriousness of maintaining the vitality and the longevity of our body temple. See, notice I didn't use any labels. But as humans, I've observed that we all are highly programmable and we're very habitual people. Most folks these days are eating like a cigarette. Let me take my straw out of here. It's like a cigarette because we're stressed out. So whether it's food, whether it's a cigarette, whether it's any of these on pay sites, there's no shortage of companies pandering and catering to stimulating and triggering vices and things that will create different types of chemical reactions in your brain and nervous system. Our nervous systems now are shot. Many of us are not sleeping soundly. So it's no wonder. So we could just give ourselves a break. And I'm not there with you. It's for each of us in our quiet moments to get honest with ourselves without beating yourself up. If you beat up on yourself, it's going to make you eat more. I'm going to give you a shortcut. It's going to make you eat more or medicate yourself in some form more because it's going to make you feel bad. However, a shortcut, right, what I like to call going through the back door, is to have a healthy sense of curiosity about your patterns of behavior. So I found taking a lot off the table. I'm not worried about the hair. I'm not worried about the food anymore because, it's all fresh. You can't get any more simpler. You can't get any more simpler than this, right? I'm about to make some allergel from one of my sisters. I can't get any more simple than this. And all the herbs and stuff that I'm pulling out my garden. I can recognize this stuff as food. I can recognize it as food. Whole, fresh, living, unprocessed food. You might think it sounds corny. That's okay. Whole, fresh, living foods. Look, it's still got, this thing is actually, how many pounds is this? Right? And I don't know if any of you have been over to, I'm going to put this right on the scale right now. Let's see how much this weighs, right? Because I like for light bulbs to just go off. This weighs 76.8 ounces. Whew. So that's this is several pounds, 16 ounces in a pound, right? So this is a whole food, and I get the convenience. Most of us are shortcutting the process. That's one of the reasons why the magnitude, that's why it doesn't stick. It doesn't stick because we're not handling our own food. There's a lot of information, paradigm shifting information that's missing because we're not having the experience. We're looking at, it's a seaweed. We're looking at the package, and the package has a beautiful picture of spinach and fresh pineapple on it, but that's not what's in the package. And I do invite you not to make us look bad or wrong. Use the cleanest water that's available to you. Use the freshest food for you right now that might be frozen. I remember I didn't care about organic. As a young mom, I just wanted cheap, healthy food. I didn't even know what organic was. So start with where you are. However, I can tell you unequivocally that whole, fresh, living foods, unprocessed food, behaves differently in your body than processed foods. It can say vegan, it say keto, it can be out of GNC, which I used to think was a health food store. What was the other one? It was GNC, and it was another one of these stores with all these protein powders that all the fitness people would go to. I used to think it was a health food store. It's not. Whether you turn off the light in there, that stuff sits on the shelf, indefinitely for years. So we're going to be making lots of distinctions. I love distinctions and to communicate in pictures because it can really help light bulbs start kicking off for you all day long. It's almost like you get a new set of eyes that can go much, much farther in you sustaining a healthy lifestyle, which will, when you shift this, you can get the results that you want without trying so much because different things are going to occur to you differently. For example, right? As one of my flowers say, what do you mean? What do you mean? There are many things I used to eat, and I might say greedy. I'm also trained as a chef that were delicious to me that you couldn't pay me to put in my mouth now, which is amazing. I was a junk food junkie because they don't occur to me as food anymore. So that was a lot of comprehension a lot of education, comprehensive education. That was a lot of research. That was looking at a lot of pictures. That was looking at a lot of different surgeries. That was me working inside holistic health center with people, every kind of, every demographic and all different kinds of different complaints and conditions. I could see the trajectory in addition to looking at my own family and history of morbid obesity, diabetes, heart disease, depression, substance abuse. I could see what was waiting for me. I already have half of a thyroid. So I don't make no butter beans. I don't make no sprouts about it. I'm crystal clear on the sufferation and what I was going to pay. So I figured out early on that I need to figure out, I made the connection that I need to figure out a way to eat this food that's not going to make me look like I like to eat the food, right? That I really, really enjoy. So it's been a journey. Fortunately, with YouTube, you can peek inside people's kitchens. And if we're making a positive, proactive use of the internet, you can shorten your learning curve. It does not, and I can tell you as a personal trainer, it doesn't need to take people 3-4 years to achieve something you can achieve in 6 months, a year and a half. The sustainability is usually not there because our mindset hasn't shifted, right? We're looking to take the popcorn, pizza, hot dog, fries mentality and just keep switching the label or the name or, the profile. However, I invite you to consider all of this recreational eating, and somebody got really upset with me because I said, and I'm talking about myself, that's what I used to eat. All of this recreational eating, I invite you to just get quiet in your contemplation. And maybe you can use it in your contemplation after your relaxation session in the morning or in the afternoon. I invite you to consider, even today, everything that you have put into this orifice here to go down your esophagus and your throat and to be digested. Digestion starts in the mouth and to go down here and into your stomach, which is very small, by the way. I invite you to consider and ask yourself in your quiet moments, is what the energy, the substance that I'm ingesting, is it nourishing my cells? Is it nourishing me at a cellular level, or is it just a party in my mouth? Now, don't be upset. Don't be mad with me. Don't be mad at yourself. Don't make yourself bad or wrong, but I invite you to consider everything you put in your mouth. Is it just a party? Is it loving you back? Is it loving your arteries? Is it loving your skin? Is what you're eating, is it helping your body? Is it giving instructions to your cells and your skin to, hey, skin, let's turn over. Hey, let's push out of this large and eliminated organ. Let's push out the waste. Hey, we got a lot of fiber. Let's push in a gently, ever so gently assist in pushing out waste out of the colon. Or is it just a party in your mouth? I'm gonna leave it right there. I like to keep it real simple. Simple is good. Simple works. Simple works. Doesn't have to take us 20 years. So once we get clear, clarity is worth its weight in gold. Then we can be about the business of seeing how to learn how to prepare our foods that we're eating beautifully in ways where we can take our lifestyle on the road, that we can prepare with any kind of spending plan so that we're making deposits into the 401k of our body. Does that make sense? Simple. We didn't have to use any kind of labels. That's why I like to focus on peaceful consumption. You're welcome. You're welcome. We don't need one more thing to divide us. We don't. Listen. I don't care if you got a perm. I don't care if you got makeup on. That's not my BI bubble eye business. I'm just sharing what I'm on the planet for. If you're talking to me about movement, fruits and vegetables, and a garden, you have my attention. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm passionate about. But I'm not in this space to pass judgment on myself or anyone else for your outfit, your hair texture, what you're eating, because we're all on our own journeys. If anything, I can look and receive inspiration and motivation. Perhaps we can reflect that, pass that back and forth. But we don't need one more thing like food to divide us. These are the meat eaters, these are the vegans. Be about your journey. Sometimes that can just be a distraction, our ego, that part of our mental processing, a distraction from really dealing with some uncomfortable things with ourselves. So we don't need one more thing to divide us. Just be about your path. When you're doing your own thing, perhaps then your partner or prospective partner, your children, your family will be inspired, right? By watching you on your journey. And you watch you. I call it mind your own business fitness. I need to find food I can grow in my kitchen in small batches at a time. GNC, when they opened up, they were actually good. Gave up McDonald's in the early 80s. Yes. I saw the other day, and I haven't been on social media as much. I saw the other day a bucket. I don't know if it's real or if it was a meme of so-and-so KFC with it used to be a red and white bucket that was green and white with some Beyond chicken or something like that. I was like, is this real? Is this real? So it's like we're just volunteering for the foolishness. I mean, we're going to volunteer ourselves to be addicts and to be slaves to just because. And I like nice things and I love to eat. But if we, at this point, there's enough information. If we're going to keep volunteering ourselves for this, then can we really be mad somebody's going to make their money? That's on us. The information is there. So you can start really upgrading your fuel to the highest octane fuel that's available to you in your environment. If you're in the cold in New York City, I've grown food for years in my little kitchen. For some reason, I was determined to grow food. I was like, nobody's going to tell me I can't grow food. So I was in an apartment in New York City growing different things. I've lived out of a suitcase, working in the travel industry for years, taking my lifestyle on the road. So if you're really desiring to, you can. Sometimes we're waiting for motivation. Too late. You're waiting for inspiration. You're waiting for somebody to come along and do it with you. What if they blow the sucker up tomorrow? You go first. Don't wait for anybody. And that's where you can really leverage the internet, right? You can find inspiration. I've had folks, before this whole internet thing, I had all kinds of DVDs that I used to consider my friends. They didn't complain. They were always ready to work out. The conversations that we're having. Even there, I invite you not to make yourself bad or wrong. What we're engaging in is affecting our desire to get into action around what we say we value. I think even some of the reality shows coming through the back door are actually stressful, and there are ways that we can avoid the discomfort of getting into action. Because when you get quiet and also your body getting quiet, different thoughts and things start to come up. When you take all the distraction off the table, you would be amazed at how many answers, crystal clear, no mukaju, come to you when your body can get comfortable and quiet, when you take a lot of the distraction off the table, when you luxuriate simply, right, with your coconut oil and your olive oil and your raw shea butter and your different fruits and vegetables on your skin. So, and you have your movement practice. Right there, you've taken a lot off the table. Your body can express itself, right? We're at our most attractive when we're healthy. And then you can also observe the judgments that are coming up around. If you hear language that you're ugly or I don't like your hair, where's that stuff coming from? What are we comparing it to? Because part of this thing with these screens is to tap into our ego and have us comparing, which will rob you of your joy. Being a student in the UK, we get low pay based by age. Wow, 22. I think the most whole food I can get is from frozen. Whole Foods in the UK is expensive. Wow, wow, 30 pounds for 3 items? Listen, if you have some solarized ancestry, grandmothers, whatever, because I always talk about Grandma Lou. You drop my Grandma Lou anywhere on this planet and she will eat good for $5. And so my Grandma Lou is not a vegan or a vegetarian. However, she is my inspiration for consuming the way that I do, because she has the most pleasant, present human being I've ever met. Was never a complainer. She always looked at the glass half full. She always saw possibilities and she was always making things better. This wasn't something that she talked about. It was just her natural state. She didn't have to announce, I'm going to do this or that. By the time you came to help with something she asked you to do, she'd go sit down and enjoy some coconut bread and some tea because it's done already. So if you're really, really desiring to, you can find a way. I mean, there's so much information and research. It's going to require a lot of self-experimentation, right? And if you're one of these people that are alone, instead of allowing ourselves to be stimulated to be exploited with all our vices, you can really maximize your alone time. Put on some conversation or whatever that's motivating you while you're decluttering, while you're stretching, while you're cutting up and portioning your fruits and vegetables. That's a fantastic use of your time. If you've got a windowsill, any kind of windowsill, if you don't even have a plot, a windowsill, you can find a community garden. If you're looking for a way, you can find it. You really, really, really can. Clarion, peace and blessings, says peace, and you also warm positive vibrations. So at 11:30, so maybe in about 40 minutes, I'm going to be making a positive use of Facebook, believe it or not. So I'm making an effort to look at the glass half full, because I'm not really feeling a lot of Facebook, but I don't need to focus on what I'm not feeling about it. I'm going to use it for something positive. So we're going to be touching on, is it possible to clear your skin up? I'll share with you some of how I've cleared my skin up. A lot of acne, like a lot, cystic, hyperpigmentation, all of that. And one of the other benefits is that likely your body, the rest of your body, right? It's just like with losing weight. People think they can spot reduce adipose tissue or fatty tissue, but your body really loses it and burns it off as one whole unit. You just may see in other areas first. So the same thing with your body. As your skin starts to clear up, more than likely your organs are going to benefit as well. So that's going to be on Facebook. There's a page that I actually have on Facebook. I haven't been using it, but I'm starting to use it more. I'm going to be using it more. It's called Holistic Fit, holistic with a W, WHOLISTIC Fit, right? My other page on Facebook is Body-Culinary. And we're going to be talking about that. There's going to be a reset. There's going to be an event for those folks that are interested in taking on the challenge of clearing up the skin. And this is without products. I don't have any people ask, I don't have any products for you. There's one shampoo, a natural shampoo that I use sometimes. In addition, I use nopales and aloe, right? This is from one of homies, one of her. She has some big, beautiful aloe. So I'm going to make some aloe gel for a friend. I'm using food on my face. So if you don't have it already, there's some resources that are available. And one is called Whole Living Foods in the Hood, Part 1, with menus to fit your budget. And we're going to be using those two guides. So if you're going to be participating, even if you don't, a lot of the questions that people would ask me is available in that guide. Like all the things I thought that would have saved me so much time and years, I put together in that guide, especially if you have a family or if you're a young mom or even if you're solo. So if you got $5, $20, $50, or you're shopping in bulk at a wholesale of $200, I'll show you my budget and some ideas. If you're buying all of this produce, what the heck am I supposed to be doing with all this produce? I'll share how I was taking my food on the road, and I put lots of pictures in there. So that's Whole Living Foods in the Hood with menus to fit your budget, as well as what I've been doing for my hair and skin even before it locked, because I did not intend for my hair to lock, and it locked and I just let it go. That's one less thing to think about. So there's natural beauty, no products. Been using fruits and vegetables on my skin. And to me, it's been a relief to throw away the shower caddy. So those resources are available. The Raw Vegan Cakes Workshop, that is on bodyculinary.com. If there are men folks in your life, there is healthy eating, plant-based for men. Some men are concerned about becoming emaciated. Should they stop eating animal flesh? You have the choice. Whatever ratios you choose, that is on you. no judgment. And I'm trying to think. Oh, there's also emergency food preparedness and preservation. So during this whole time, even before this whole situation that's been going on the globe, same lifestyle. So it's actually been a benefit to me because I'm still not eating anything out of a can. So you can see what I've been storing up, how I'm preserving food, because preserving food is an art, right? And it can also, just during the course of the year, help you to keep and manage your spending plan, right? And maximize if you start endeavoring to grow sprouts or microgreens or just managing your money. Again, that's something else, a distraction you can take off the table, because when you got all that fresh produce, there's no reason for you to keep going back and forth to the grocery store. There's also a video on this channel that's free called Extend the Life of Your Produce. So there are some folks that maybe on this channel that have been doing a raw vegan challenge. And so I put together a lot of resources. I just stockpiled it. Really, I was stockpiling a lot of information for my family members, right? Because I was like, should they ever ask me, I left a whole little trail behind for you. So you can maximize your dollars, and hopefully you don't have a bunch of produce rotting down in the refrigerator, right? It had to grow. You had to go shop for it. You had to make the decision. You had to lug it home. That's a lot of time and energy. Again, you can be taking all of that off the table. That could be more sleep. That could be time for your personal movement practice. Right? So you can redistribute the energy and where our attention is going. And if you don't, it doesn't make us bad or wrong. Again, this is not about condemning ourselves. This is an opportunity just to shift your paradigm. I can definitely tell you it is possible. So at 11:30, so I'm 1 hour right now from Eastern Standard Time. So it's 10:46 where I am right now. So that means it's going to be 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, 11:30 my time on Facebook on Holistic Fit. If you are on the mailing list, and if you are one of the Patreon members, for some of the workshops that are coming up, if you are a Patreon member, which is really inexpensive, I think it's like $5 and $10, whatever, you will be able to reserve any of the spots for the cocoon people have been asking me about. There's several channels. There's going to be a clear skin and a healthy weight reset. So that one is going to be a little bit longer. So you can reserve a spot in those. So those are going to be limited. And I don't know that I want those online because it can be very random here. So take advantage of that. I hope you all come over to Facebook, because we're looking to make a positive use of the internet. And what we're exploring is it at all possible that we can have clear skin without buying all these products? I mean, remember the graveyard, remember the styling gels and all the oils and stuff? I consider it kind of stressful. It's a lot to contend with. So there's a lot of resources that we can redistribute to the garden, to travel, maybe even perhaps to land. Just something to consider. So hopefully I'll see you over on Holistic Fit over on Facebook. For those of you that don't use Facebook, feel free to reach out to me at info@body-culinary.com. If you get on that mailing list, that's the best way to reach me. If you get on that mailing list, you will be notified of the different things that are coming up, because I'm one person and I can't get to everyone. And feel free to come move with me in the mornings from Monday through Thursday. It's a nice Tootsie Roll of African dance and sculpting. You don't need any weights. You can do it right in your apartment. I've been doing it for years, right? It's the sustainable lifestyle practices for me. So if you have any questions, reach out to me. I'm inviting you all to create a great day on purpose, just because you said so. And just for the record, our little natural bodies matter. I'm celebrating, I'm bringing the small tetas back in style. I'm just mainly concerned that they are free of growth and that they are healthy. In the previous short video, I mentioned massaging, big into, before I leave, breast massage and stomach massage. Again, these are lifestyle practices every day, at least every evening when you get out of the shower, to do breast massage, right? And to also do stomach massage, right? So it's not just, it's touching yourself, but also so you can start to become more in tune with your body and more aware if there's anything abnormal going on there. It can really go a long way to make you present in your body temple. That's a big part of what's missing. The recipes, got you in recipes. Workout, got you. However, there's no shortcut to being present. That's going to require us to slow down and actually be present. And that means more than likely we're going to become aware of all the noise, right? And that can actually be kind of challenging. So looking forward, hopefully I'll see you over on Facebook at 11:30. Y'all create a great day on purpose.